In the shadow of the Second World War, a series of secret experiments were rumoured to have taken place, deep behind Soviet walls. Experiments not for weapons, not for propaganda, but for sleep, or rather, the removal of it. This is the story behind the Russian sleep experiment, a viral creepypasta that terrified the internet. But what if parts of it were true?
The creepypasta first appeared around 2010. It claimed that in the late 1940s, 5 prisoners of war were sealed in a chamber. They were told they'd be freed if they could stay awake for 30 days. A stimulant gas kept them conscious, and cameras watched everything.
The story gets worse. By day 5, the subjects were pacing, talking to themselves. Paranoia set in. By day 10, they stopped speaking entirely. They stared into cameras and whispered to the walls.
Eventually, one began screaming. Then another tore open their own skin. One tore out his vocal cords. They stopped eating. And yet, they didn't die.
When guards tried to shut down the experiment, the prisoners begged to stay awake. They claimed, "We no longer want to be freed." They said, "I must remain awake. I must remain awake."
The story sounds like fiction, but certain elements match real Cold War experiments. The Soviets did study sleep deprivation. They tested gas agents, sensory isolation, and extreme psychological endurance. And it wasn't just them.
The CIA's MK-Ultra program in the US also performed sleep experiments. Some lasted days, others involved drugs, forced wakefulness, and even attempts to reprogram the mind.
In 1951, a Soviet facility named Project Somnus was reportedly experimenting with military endurance. Documents later leaked described subjects kept awake for over 120 hours, with stimulant aerosols pumped into sealed environments.
Did people die? Probably. Did they mutilate themselves? Less likely. But we know this. Sleep deprivation does cause hallucinations, psychosis, even death.
After just 24 hours without sleep, your attention declines. After 48, your body loses grip on time. Micro sleeps begin. You see shadows that aren't there.
At 72 hours, paranoia kicks in. Some subjects report hearing voices, seeing movement. By day 4 or 5, they enter a psychotic state.
Some hallucinate skin crawling. Others hear music. One experiment from the 1960s documented a man who believed insects were burrowing into his spine after just 5 days awake.
The human body is not meant to exist without rest. Eventually, it breaks.
The Russian sleep experiment went viral because it used a real tone. Cold, clinical, no dramatic flourishes, just terror through medical indifference.
The photo often used a distorted figure with black eyes and toned skin. Was actually a Halloween prop, but in low resolution. Viewers believed it.
The creepypasta format helped. It read like a leak report, just plausible enough. And we were in an age of growing distrust, of government, of science, of hidden labs doing hidden things.
The Russian sleep experiment may be fiction, but it hit a nerve, a fear not of monsters, but of what we do to each other, in the name of control, in the name of progress, in the name of never sleeping again.
Whether it happened or not, the question remains, if pushed hard enough, would we become the monsters ourselves?
Because something about the story lingers, not the gore, not the madness, but the silence at the end, when they begged to stay awake, not to be saved, not to be free, just to stay awake.